So what would you do if you decided you're going to start tracking how many times a day that you tell yourself, I hate you? And then after doing that for 8 days, the tally is over 40 times in an 8-day period. First of all, how would that make you feel? And second of all, what would you do? I didn't know what to do about it. So I talked to my therapist and she has assigned me some homework. I'm going to do my homework in front of you today in the hopes that maybe this exercise that she's given me to do might help you. If you have intrusive thoughts, they don't necessarily have to be you telling yourself that you hate yourself. Maybe it'll help. So let's go ahead and kind of do this together and see how it goes. Okay, so she gave me this worksheet that's called the cognitive model. And so I guess the example that they have here is you take the thought, whatever it was, the intrusive thought, and put it in here in the situation category. And you're supposed to be very factual with this entry. You're not supposed to have any judgments in here or any interpretation. You're not supposed to assign any meaning to it or be descriptive. Really, it's just what happened that made you feel bad in the moment, right? So in this example, they have the coworker that walked by without saying hello. And then the next part is the thought. So you start with the situation and then you progress to the thought where this is how you interpreted the situation. This was your knee-jerk reaction to it, your knee-jerk feeling and the thinking that ensued after the incident. In this example, what did I do wrong? Why is she mad at me? Alternate thought that this worksheet is helping you kind of identify is to reframe the original negative thought into an alternate thought, another way to look at the situation. So in this example, the alternate thought would be, well, she didn't even notice me. She must have a lot on her mind, which of the two is, more likely to be true than the instinctual, oh my God, I must have done something wrong because they're not talking to me. Because we always jump to conclusions, right? And blame ourselves for other people's behavior, even though it probably has absolutely nothing to do with us. So then you have the feelings. So you start off with the situation that triggered the feelings and the series of thoughts, negative thoughts, and then this is where you assign a feeling to the thought. How did that thought make you feel? Hurt and or offended? And whereas the alternate thought is unfazed and neutral. And then behavior, how you responded to the situation based upon your thoughts and feelings. I couldn't stop thinking about what happened. Later, I acted coldly toward the coworker. And then in the alternative universe, right, where you thought something different, you would act differently as a result of that. And that could be, in this instance, I wouldn't give the situation a second thought. I would act warmly to my coworker as usual, realizing that really probably had nothing to do with me, so why should I be upset with them and treat them differently because of something that's only happening in my own brain, okay? So now that we've set out the rules, I will take one of the times that I wrote in my journal, I hate you, Ken, because I wasn't able to bring my friend Sue. So my actual thought was, I'm a bad friend, I don't follow through. And that's because I actually talked to her on the phone or on Messenger or something, probably Messenger, and said, hey, I know you're recovering from surgery and it sucks. We're going to bring you some chicken and dumplings because Karina makes awesome chicken and dumplings. To reframe, I've had some time since this happened and I can see it more objectively. So an alternate thought was, we weren't able to do this for our friend Jill that week. Karina had tonsillitis. This dish is Karina's. I don't cook very well at all, so it wasn't something that I would have felt comfortable attempting because I really wanted Jill to taste the dish in its awesome final form, which I'm not capable of doing. And I told Jill that. I said, well, we need to postpone doing this for you. And she said something to the effect of, Jill said, that's okay. It's even okay if you can't do it at all. She said that to me. She was fine if we weren't able to actually follow through on it at all. It didn't bother her. It bothered me, which is dumb, because she was the person affected by it and she didn't care. But that's what a depressive mind and an anxiety-ridden mind will do, right? When we're in our depressed state or anxious state and someone tells us that things are okay, we don't believe them. I can reframe that whole situation that Karina had tonsillitis, Jill said everything was okay, life just happened, and we didn't do it. There's the actual thoughts, which were awful, and then reframing, coming up with an alternate way of looking at it. So we've done that. The feeling I have experienced because of my negative thoughts is that I feel guilty for not doing it. The alternate feeling would be Jill and I are good. Life happens. And then the last step on here is behavior, how you respond to the situation based upon your thoughts and feelings. So I have avoided Jill on social media because guilt. I've thought to myself, I hate you because of this. In the alternate universe where I reacted differently and thought differently and felt differently, my behavior would be just reached out to Jill to drop food by on a different day. In the universe where I didn't think I was a horrible shit person that isn't worthy of friendship, I would just reschedule with Jill and say, hey, can we do it on this such and such a day? So the idea of this, as I catch myself having these negative, intrusive thoughts about myself, I will do this exercise, right? And I will get to the point eventually, after doing it in this form, on this worksheet, maybe a couple of days after the fact, that less and less time will go by between having the intrusive negative thought and taking the time to reframe it. And so that's the goal, right? Is to get to the point where I'm doing the reframing more in real time as these negative thoughts occur. You can't always do that, right? But that's the end goal in the next few weeks, to get to the point where I don't need the worksheet. I don't need to let a couple of days go by to sit down and rethink everything and go through this exercise, but where I'm going to be able to actually do it quickly and more in the moment. And if you want to try it as well, I will put a link in the description to this worksheet so you can download it and play along at home, so to speak. If you do that and it works, let me know what your experience is. Just post something in the comments. And if it doesn't work, let me know that too. And let me know how it went and why it wasn't doing the job for you. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you found this useful. As always, do the subscribe thing. I'm going to be doing a lot more content like this in the coming days and weeks. So if you find this to be helpful and you want to come along, I would love to have you. That's it. I will see you in the next video. And until then, take care.